And it's interesting seeing in this article I'll discuss in this video, to what extent does remote work for you, and what leverage do we have as employees? Now, as you can see in the background, I am actually in London right now. I'm walking across Blackfriars Bridge, not too far from Goldman Sachs, where I worked for several years in the investment banking industry. And it is freezing right now. It's, I don't know what temperature it'd be, but it's very cold. But it is a nice view, as you can see. It is quite a nice view from here, but it is freezing. And, if you want to work remotely, typically you want to be working from home in a warm environment, maybe create your own healthy food, your own healthy lunches, or even work abroad, right? You might want to work remotely from anywhere in the world in a warmer climate. And I perfectly understand that, being in London, working in offices, the predominant period of my career. So what we can see from this article actually is that increasingly employees, particularly younger employees, graduates, they're demanding 100% work from home. They don't want to be hybrid employees. They don't want to be in the office like one day a week. They want to work 100% from home. And there's many benefits of this. As you can see, that people actually want to maybe own a property, which is increasingly difficult if you want to commute to work. Because property is becoming unaffordable, and on top of that, you have long commutes if you do want to work, if you do want to buy a property and work in a major city like London. So it's interesting seeing this type of dynamic, and I'm quite encouraged to see that there are graduates or younger employees who are being a bit demanding and not just completely becoming subservient slaves, wage slaves, effectively working, paying a high cost of living in terms of rent, and coming into the office when they can effectively do the job at home. Now, what we can see from this article is that bosses are not being effective in trying to lure or attract staff back to the office, because, as the poll does suggest, working in the office is kind of useless when you can work from home. And it's interesting seeing how Gen Z, or the Zoomers, they want to place more focus on their personal life purpose and their development above simply job satisfaction or money. So effectively, they want a better work-life balance. They want to be able to have their own freedom to do what they want in their free time, and not just have a long commute to work, pay an overpriced cost for their lunch, for their train journey, or their car, things like that. So it's very great to see that, if there's any benefit of the lockdown, apart from seeing through all the lies that we were told, the benefit is that there is an increasing leverage of people waking up and understanding their freedom is quite important, including their freedom to work where they want. Now, if you're at the start of your career, typically you'll get some pushback from the boomers, the boomer bosses, the corporate environment, saying, oh, you want to work from home, but you're working a new role. How are you going to learn how to do that role? And I do agree to a certain extent. If you are more experienced and you work a remote job, you typically don't need as much training. So you can work from home and not really rely on you don't need to rely on like in the office training, because you can just log in from home. You know what you're doing. You've done a similar job before. It's easy. And if you're at the start of your career, people might say, the bosses, the boomer bosses, you need to learn the workplace culture, get to know the co-workers, understand the team structure, and focus on your skills in the office. Like I say, they do have a fair point, but I think you can still do all of that at home, right? A lot of training now for employees and new joiners can be done working from home. You can, there are online training materials, online training modules you'll do in the office, which you can do from home. Team meetings, you can do that again through Zoom calls, Zoom meetings at home. And if you want to learn anything from your employees, and I've been there myself because I have worked remotely, there's a lot of options for, of course, sharing screens, right? So if your employee wants to explain to you a new process, how to do something in Excel, maybe a financial modeling thing, if you're just brand new to how financial models work, they can teach you via a screen share. There can be various other trainings that can be done remotely. So it really does raise the question, what is the benefit of being in the office if you can work remotely? And another interesting point that we can see from this article is quite pointless office perks, which they think are going to attract employees, right? For example, free breakfasts, things like donuts and things like that. The pool table, after work drinks, vouchers to buy gadgets and things, free beauty salon visits or company clothing, exercise classes, allowing pets in the office, just things that are completely ridiculous. None of these things can compete to working from home unless it's a massive increase in salary. If you check out the recommended videos on your screen right now, that would be great. And also I have a free ebook in the description. So check that out and I'll see you in the next video.